So I have to say, this video is specifically a lesson in not giving up on an artwork and actually having some dang confidence. For me, this is a piece I actually drew and recorded in June for Junicorn. I had created my first Junicorn piece where I created bug unicorns, and then I was going to do some unicorns based on objects. And I have my box of random pieces of paper, and I pulled them out at random, and the words that I got were armor, slime, and I believe motherboard. From that, I created 3 unicorn designs, one unicorn being an armored unicorn based on a bull or a cow, a slime unicorn based on a sheep, and a audio jack unicorn based a little bit closer on a deer, I think originally, but then I think I played with the body shape a little bit more. And I really wanted to put these 3 in a situation, so I came up with the idea of having a museum sort of gallery, and that being where the unicorns interacted. So I knew the kind of armor unicorn was going to be on a pedestal and not particularly alive, like, you know, a display. And I imagine somebody coming to look at it and think it's really cool. The slime unicorn I couldn't quite place. I thought about having it in a like giant test tube. I actually thought about having all of these guys be in a science lab originally with science experiments, because I did have like computer unicorns and a slime unicorn. But I was just taken so idea by this like museum situation. So we have a character, a girl, who's coming in. You can see the armor unicorn, and she's got her little like slime unicorn buddy. And I am in love with how I put in the computer unicorns. They are audio tour unicorns, and I didn't really plan exactly how they would work, but they're so small, they're so cute. I love the poster that goes with them. They're very animated. They're not like robots that are turned on, like they're sitting here waiting to get, you know, used, waiting for their turn. And it's an adorable idea, an adorable world that I'm not sure if it really exists, but also I had my bug unicorns too. This piece has been in my intro for a long time, and I've always liked it, but I thought it wasn't really good enough to be in a video. But the more I've seen my own intro, the more I've been like, oh my god, it's so cute, I need to use it. When it came to coloring it, I actually got out the masking solution and masked out my main characters and actually I masked out a lot for this one. I masked out the poster, basically anything that wasn't the background. I was heavily referencing a couple different photos of art galleries for the background. I couldn't quite get one to look exactly the way I liked, to have the angle I wanted and everything, but I found one that worked, and I actually lined the background with some light gray fine liners, so that way they would be like still visible and everything, but weren't going to take up too much visual space. I wanted to really play with shading, and I don't often do environments, so I really wanted to go for it this one. Thinking back, it really does bother me that I didn't post this video. I wasn't proud of it at the time, and I put a lot of work into it. Just looking at the footage of doing this art piece, it took so much longer than I normally put into an artwork, and that doesn't even consider the time I took designing the unicorns and the character, because that was a whole nother thing. And I did record all of that, but it's been so long I actually couldn't find the footage of designing each unicorn. Peeling up masking fluid is always an experience. Part of you is terrified. You realize that you missed some spots. But it's that childhood glue peeling up kind of feeling. Especially when you can get like a big, thick piece to pull up. It's hard to hold a camera and do this at the same time when you don't tape down your painting. So that was an experience. Anyway, after doing the background, I was putting in some flat colors for the character. I really played around with different colors and different combinations for the unicorns. I remember asking people which color combinations they liked better, and for the audio tours unicorns, I kind of liked the motherboard bluey green color, and I just think they're so dang adorable. Just look at them and their cuteness. They're just so cute. With the girl's outfit, I knew I wanted kind of a plaid look, and I wanted her to have a darker skin tone. I think Pokemon Sword and Shield had just been announced, and that's where I kind of got the idea of the plaid puffball hat. That is adorable. I have no idea how a goo unicorn sheep works, because he's fluffy and he's cute and he's just got this neutral green tone and then this like bright goo. I can't imagine having one for a pet and having to carry it around, because I was very amused with myself just leaving a trail of goo in its wake. I was very amused when I had done my color mock-ups that the bull was winding up pink, but it was actually kind of the best color to go with kind of the bone armor look. I'm very glad that I kept the footage for this and I didn't just throw it out. I'm very glad I kept the actual painting, because I do really like this piece. It's not as, like, sucking you into a situation as I originally wanted it to. I wanted you to really feel like you're there. It reminds me a little bit of an illustration you'd see in, like, a teen novel of some sort, or a mystery novel. Do you guys remember those, like, really lame... I read them a lot in, like, the early 90s, like, teen mystery novels, and they always had a cover of, like, someone peeking in on something happening. And that's really something that kind of came through with this illustration. I realize now I've actually gone a while without doing my standard, like, illustration technique of watercolor, and then watercolor pencil for shading, and then markers for random other colors. I quite enjoy that method. It gives some extra tone and depth that I'm kind of scared to jump in and do with just the color pencils themselves. Even just doing the darkness around where she's standing really made it pop that she's on the side of a wall that's darker than what's in the other room. And the very light lines on the other side of the wall make it seem like it has a lot more light. And of course doing the harsh white outline along her edge too. I mean, I had a lot of fun with the lighting in this. I tried to push it. I know it's not that extreme of lighting, but for me, I really don't usually dive too deep into lighting. This was a big step for me. I would not mind approaching these characters, or even doing another hard push for Junicorn next year with random object unicorns. I do love these critters, these characters. They're adorable. I love the setting. I'm not sure I'd ever make a print or anything out of this, but I feel like it it does have a narrative, and that's what I was going for. And I do love the designs of the characters and the situation I put them in. I love the goo trail. It brings me never-ending happiness. And the audio tour unicorns are seriously the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Let me know in the comments if you like this piece, if you have been wondering what this piece was, because almost every other piece in the opening is either recognizable or something I've proudly posted, but this is something that I never really did. Is there anything you've ever created and been ashamed of or not thought was that good and then realized later, hey, this doesn't suck? It happens to us all. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.